Hello Strongholders! Natasha here, Community Lead at Firefly Studios with yet another monster question and answer session on Stronghold Warlords. In our last dev update, we took the opportunity to sit down with producer Paul and programmer Matt to discuss our community's 10 most frequently asked questions in a greater depth than we have before. Today, however, we've swapped out Paul and Matt for marketing huckster Nick.
I've always wanted to be referred to as a huckster, so thank you for that.
Each time we put out a request to our community for questions on Discord, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, we get a deluge of questions, and this time was no different. So if your question didn't come up in one of our previous videos, then fear not, because we'll be answering nearly 100 of them today. So first up we have the Gaming Pro, who asks, will we be getting cool battle music?
We will be getting cool battle music. Full soundtrack directed by Robert Uvino. Check out Aaron's music preview if you haven't already.
Pepic_05 asks, if I'm a Chinese lord, can I recruit Japanese troops?
Yes, so it's similar to Crusader 1. If you've got troops that you want to recruit from different nations, you can do that at either the barracks or the military academy.
Eleanor asks, can the general unit get on a horse?
Sadly not, too much heavy armour.
Ah.
Too thick.
Too thick.
Great minds.
Eleanor back with a second question, who asks, will we be able to recreate Himeji Castle?
You will, yeah, map editor in there at launch. Can't wait to see what you do with it.
Eleanor with a third question, who asks, can we change the colour of the keep?
Yep, in multiplayer or skirmish, just change your team colour.
Eleanor asks, hang on, have we had a question from Eleanor?
I don't think so.
I don't know,
it sounds like the first.
Yeah, new name, right?
Yeah.
Eleanor asks, will there be alternative ways to acquire resources?
Yep, so economic focused warlords like the Ox Warlord and resource stashes are making a return from Crusader 2.
Eleanor back with a fifth question asking, can we expect weather like rain?
Yes, rain will be in the game. Check out the economic trailer if you haven't seen it already.
Jim asks, nope, I'm only kidding, it's Eleanor again. Eleanor asks if all the warlords will be animal themed.
That is the plan, yeah.
Eleanor's penultimate question is, are there going to be random in-game events like the Plague?
Yes, there will be medieval events in the game, although obviously more sort of themed around East Asia and also playing into weather.
And finally, Eleanor's last question, will the faster troops change their speed to match slower troops?
That will be an option, yes, although we're not sure whether it will be the default or not.
Ho6org asks, can we have pandas and tigers?
No pandas, but caged tigers, yes.
A second question from the Firefox, who asks, will the courthouse from Stronghold 2 be returning?
Unfortunately, no criminal justice system and no Gong, sadly. Sorry. Shout out to those 3 people that enjoyed Gong.
Get cracking. This poo isn't going to shift itself.
Dad,
Yes, son.
I'm not sure this job's for me.
Is it me? Is it my chatter? I know I can go on a bit, but...
No, Dad, it's not you. It's the poo.
What about the poo?
Don't tell me you can't smell it.
No?
Ho6org again with, will there be purely decorative objects in the game?
No, everything has a purpose, but that Zen garden in the game, whoa.
What?
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, the good lord buildings can help you kind of decorate your castle, and the bad lord buildings as well, if you want that aesthetic.
And finally, Host6org, his last question, asks, will there be more variety in the grass texture?
Yeah, we actually increased the limit on the number of different textures you can have in a specific part of the map, and obviously we've added grass to the game as well.
Nomus68 asks, how can I sign up to the beta?
Sign up to the Stronghold Discord, link in the description below.
Krara Lotus asks, what will the max building and troop limit be?
Totally depends on optimization and testing, so ask us further down the line.
Krara Lotus again asks, will the AI adapt to their opponent's strategy?
Yep, we definitely want the AI to adapt to you this time around instead of just following like an archetype for whoever that person is. We're trying to make it more alive and believable and sort of no cheating involved.
NP123 asks, will Stronghold Warlords be able to be played in windowed mode?
Yes, I believe so.
Bloody and Cruel Story of Toys asks, will the Lords have active or passive HP regeneration?
No HP regeneration is currently planned for the game.
King Power asks, will attackers be able to blow up walls with gunpowder?
They will.
King Power asks, can you add Easter eggs from old Stronghold games?
Definitely, I can't wait for people
Shut up!
Sorry.
King Power finally asks, will you be making community contests for map builders?
Yep, Aaron will be all over that, I'm sure. We'll have the return of our community spotlight series with competitions and that kind of thing.
The Firefox asks, can you add fear factor with worm buckets?
Worm buckets? Is this like an inside joke related to the metagame?
Yeah, it's a metagame. You could buy worm buckets.
Oh yeah, our team bought worm buckets, I think.
Yeah, a lot. I think this is a Dynasty or Horde, but a lot of buckets and never used them.
Yeah, that sounds like Horde.
Shank asks, can we play versus AI with our friends in multiplayer?
Yes, you can.
Jamoni asks, are generals limited to just one per battle?
Not currently.
Ice Cubes asks, can we move in-game with the WASD keys?
Yes, you can move with the WASD keys.
Is it WASD? I say WASD.
WASD, yeah. Sure.
People don't say WASD, do they?
No, I definitely don't do that.
Moorhun19 asks, can you choose or create a portrait in Warlords?
There will be some profile customization options, but yeah, we'll reveal those later on.
Apologies for the name. Grizzink.redn asks, will there be Polish dubbing in-game?
Yep, Polish dubbing in the game, as well as English, German, French, Spanish, Russian, and Chinese, and then some other languages, text only.
Rudiger asks, can your troop or lord ride a battle ox?
Oh man, that sounds great.
Would have been neat.
Yeah, we should have thought of that. Maybe if we do a sequel.
Hive Shadow DK asks, can your warlords betray you?
Oh yes, they can.
Noon asks, will the warlords send players goods via auction?
There's currently no visual representation because we want it to be as snappy and quick as possible, but ask us again later on once we're into the testing phase.
Andre asks, will regional pricing be like other Stronghold games?
Yes.
Lovecat asks, can gunpowder workers have accidents?
Maybe, yeah, it's a cool suggestion. It's definitely one of those things that sounds awesome, but might not be fun if you've just built up a massive base and then you suddenly have a massive explosion and your base gets destroyed. So again, it's something that we'll look at during testing.
Barry Gary asks, how are you guys doing?
Fine, apart from the global pandemic, we're kind of worried about our office plants, aren't we?
Yeah, they're
on the way out, yeah.
Rip. Barry Getty asks, will there be a loyalty system in Warlords?
There will be an influence system for grabbing Warlords that we haven't shown in videos so far, and stay tuned because we'll be doing a deep dive on the Warlord system in the future.
Gokai Sim asks, will the new game work on Mac OS?
Not currently, but if the game absolutely smashes it at launch, it's definitely something we could look into outsourcing maybe.
Arcantos asks, will it be possible to customize units?
No unit customization in this game, no.
David767 please says, will there be a lord in Warlord?
It's in the title, so yeah, probably, at least one.
Artican asks, can our player lord have a wife and concubines?
That is an oddly specific request.
He's got needs apparently. So.
Your imagination is the limit.
Artican asks, will there be a market system in Warlords?
Yes, you might even be able to see it in our PAX East playthrough.
And finally, Artican asks, will your peasants rebel?
If you don't keep them happy, yeah.
Benedict asks, how has pathfinding changed since Crusader 2?
You can definitely expect improvements and stay tuned for future dev diaries on these kind of topics.
Raxo asks, are a warlord's units affected by fear factor?
Not currently, no, but watch this space as obviously we are going to be testing that kind of stuff later in the game.
Second question from Raxo, will the game have wagon transport units?
No sort of specific transport units in the game, but we will have siege towers coming back.
Doberman asks, will there be flags and other small decorations in Warlords?
There'll be flags on keeps, bannermen, and I believe elsewhere in the game, yes.
Nobody asks, where are you guys based?
I thought you meant like, nobody asked this question. So this is the person's name?
Yes.
Okay, so nobody asks.
Where are you guys based?
Okay, so we're based in London, where we do a lot of sort of design, production, that kind of stuff, and I guess marketing sometimes. We have another studio in Aberdeen, Scotland, where they mainly do a lot of our QA, and then America, where we have some code, some art, and the kind of the sort of, production biz style of the business as well.
Corsair89 asks, will warlords fortify their castles when you capture them?
Not when you capture them necessarily, but when you upgrade them, they will. So if you go back and look at our PAX West demo and Gamescom demo footage from last year, you'll see the Turtle Warlord building up his walls and actually adding siege defenses as you level him up.
Hero asks, will Stronghold Warlords have an alcohol mechanic?
No alcohol, but plenty of tea. I actually haven't had a drink in the last like 3-4 weeks because of illness and self-isolation. So I'm kind of at a stage now where I'm like loving tea in my life. I've become a tea person. Not just green tea, red tea. Yeah, all this stuff. I know it's weird. Drink more tea.
Plokiti Wolf asks, actually, we have a lot of debate about how to pronounce
Plokite.
this name. Nick says Plokite, I say Plokiti, so we're saying Plokiti because I'm asking the
Sure,
questions.
whatever.
Plokiti Wolf asks, oh, I forgot the question. After all that great banter. It was self-banter, really. Okay.
That was banter? I thought we were just warming up.
Rude. Why will the roads be limited in number?
Oh, sorry, was that you?
Yeah, that's me asking.
Why were the roads
Be
limited in number? As we said in the, I think it was Castle Sim video, the design's basically not final. So again, that'll be something that we come to in testing. Ask us again later, and just wait for more sort of economy-focused videos from us.
Yergi asks, will the demo be on Steam?
If there is one, it will be available on Steam, yeah.
Pemic asks, will Stronghold Warlords be an awesome game?
Yes.
Sir Doom Estos asks, will there be a story campaign or skirmish trail?
There's no skirmish trail currently in the game. At the moment, we've got a 30 mission sort of single player mode across the various campaigns. And then we've also got other modes that we haven't actually revealed yet.
El Lobo asks, can we have manual control over the gatehouse?
Sure, just for you, Lobo.
Wolfram asks, are you planning changes to wall building?
We've already done a bunch of changes. Check out the Troops and Walls video if you haven't already. And then if you've got any sort of specific suggestions, just jump into the Discord.
Wolfram asks, will each troop have a strong personality?
Wouldn't be Stronghold without it.
Crada Lotus asks, will units take damage based on their height?
Indeed they will.
NP123 asks, can we choose between different scribe voices?
No, sadly just the one, but we're really, really happy with how it turned out. And if you haven't heard it yet, check out the economy reveal video.
Wolfram again asks, will each nation have its own unique language?
So of the languages in the game, we can only really afford to localize audio into Chinese, but we are looking at possibly having these other languages available to players of all different languages.
Franco95 asks, will buildings cost less wood than in Crusader 2?
I believe so, yeah, across the board, although obviously it's bamboo, not wood this time, which, fun fact, is a form of grass. So technically, you're building buildings with grass.
Joseph WR asks, will the Warlord map show river crossings?
Not currently, no, but watch this space.
Yumsef asks, when will the closed beta be?
If we do one, it will be very close to launch, I imagine.
Arcantos asks, will we be able to trade technology with the Warlords?
So when you've taken over a warlord, they're fully under your control.